You know that feeling when someone you love walks away, and it feels like they're taking a piece of your soul with them? Yeah, we've all been there, scrolling through old texts at 2 a.m., wondering where it all went wrong. But here's what the ancient Stoics would tell you if they could see you right now. You're suffering not because they left, but because you're clinging to something that was never yours to control in the first place. And I know that sounds harsh, but stick with me here, because this might just change how you see everything. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who literally had everything but chose philosophy over pleasure, wrote in his journal that we suffer more in our imagination than in reality. And damn, if that isn't the truest thing about modern relationships, where we create entire scenarios in our heads about what could have been, should have been, would have been if only they'd stayed, if only they'd changed, if only, if only, if only. But here's the radical truth that Stoicism teaches us. Amor Fati, love your fate. Embrace what happens as if you chose it yourself, because resistance is where all the pain lives. Think about it. When you're holding on to someone who wants to leave, you're like a person gripping sand. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers. That's not love. That's possession. That's fear dressed up in a romantic costume. The Stoics practiced something beautiful called negative visualization, where they'd imagine losing everything they loved, not to be morbid, but to appreciate what they had while they had it and to be prepared when change inevitably came. Because everything changes, everyone leaves eventually, whether through choice or death. And that's not pessimistic, that's just real. So here's what you do starting right now. You practice minimalism in your emotions, not by feeling less, but by expecting less from others and more from yourself. You stop making another person your entire world because worlds built on other people always crumble. You learn to differentiate between what's up to you, your thoughts, your actions, your responses, and what's not up to you, their feelings, their choices, their journey. And when you master this, something magical happens. You become unshakable, not because you don't care, but because you care about the right things. Epictetus, who was literally a slave but freer than most of us will ever be, said we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. And in relationships, this means loving without losing yourself, caring without controlling, and most importantly, letting go without letting it destroy you. The truth is, minimalism in love doesn't mean loving less. It means loving smarter, loving cleaner, loving without all the toxic attachments and expectations that turn beautiful connections into emotional prisons. And when you finally get this, when you finally understand that the only person you can control is yourself, you'll find a peace that no breakup can shatter, no rejection can break, no loneliness can penetrate, because you'll have built something that no one can take away. A relationship with yourself that's so solid, so real, so genuinely fulfilling that everyone else becomes a beautiful addition to your life, not the foundation of it.